Welcome everyone to our monthly Act Success training. Thank you for joining us. As you know, this is one of the benefits of being a subscriber or a customer of Keystroke. Today we have an exciting agenda for you. We're going to start off with looking at the new CRM SaaS. So Ken will start us off, and then Michael Cadlib will do a presentation on that. And from there, you move to our KAM, Keystroke Access Manager. That's something brand new we've just come out with. And then we're going to do some surprise Actoberfest promotions. So we look forward to this. So a couple of the things going ahead. We do record all these sessions. So at the end, Michael will bring it up on screen, show you where we have them on our website. So all of our webinars that we do are available on our website. So we will show you where to find them. They're right on the home screen. And the other thing is that we will do questions. So please put your questions in. And we will answer, if appropriate, I'll interrupt and we'll answer them as we go. If not, we will do it at the end of each session. So thank you very much for joining us. To start, Ken Quigley, our President and CEO, will start off with the presentations, and then we'll move to Michael. Here you go, Ken.
Excellent, thanks, Vic. So just to kind of give people a sense of what the agenda here is, I'll be queuing up the presentation, but I need to kind of go through and explain, like, what is Act CRM SaaS? This is a big change over what the Act market is used to. So it requires a little bit of context before we get into the demo. So the first thing I want to do is I want to explain to people that, you know, there's no need to take any notes or worry about it, because we've already got the Act CRM page published. So for reference, you can just go here, Act Products and Act CRM SaaS. So again, Act CRM SaaS. So this is our page. So just quickly scrolling up, we've got the different tiers, which we'll cover, and then we've got a comparison chart and then some frequently asked questions. Okay, so what is Act CRM SaaS? It's a new cloud-only version of Act Growth Suite. We've heard a lot about Growth Suite over the last couple of years, and the Growth Suite commercial product, as we've come to know it, has actually effective today been discontinued and replaced with the online version of Act CRM SaaS. Okay, and you'll quickly understand why when we go through this explanation. This new online-only Act Growth Suite is built on a 64-bit architecture with a single sign-on and multi-tenant architecture. Now, we don't expect anyone to care about those last two features beyond what it means, and that what it means is a dramatically faster service than before, and it's faster to maintain and faster to provide upgrades. Okay, so the other big deal to note here is that with Act CRM SaaS, there is no software to install and no remote databases to deploy. So this is a completely online experience, and certainly a departure from the past, at least insofar as what Act users are accustomed to. So the Act CRM SaaS promises to deliver more feature improvements faster than would ever otherwise be possible. Okay, now if you're wondering if this means Act is looking past the desktop experience, the answer is no. Act has struggled to modernize over the years because no other CRM vendor has had the burden of maintaining two platforms, desktop and cloud, like Act has. And this has really hindered progress. By separating the two products into different development lanes, the cloud product can develop faster, unhindered, and the desktop product can continue to focus on quality and compatibility. Now, when you think about it, if you develop a feature for SaaS that, based on the multi-tenant architecture, you can deploy really, really quickly, you can't really do so if the two things are tethered together, the desktop, because you would have to deliver that same feature into the desktop before you can deliver it into either. But now that this is a strictly online experience, there is no connection with the desktop software anymore, okay? And that's why there is no syncing. So there's no, it literally doesn't support desktop sync anymore, so therefore it's not hindered by it. So those are some important points to note here. Okay, now just to quickly go through the page here, after you're done, okay, we will be posting a video on it, but what we've got here is a quick video, which I'm going to close here, of Act CRM SaaS as well. So we're going to cover really only the features that are different. This 12-minute video here covers more common features that Act users are used to. Okay, now the other thing to understand is, like Growth Suite, this is available in 3 different tiers, but you'll notice that these tiers are extremely competitively priced. Before we were looking at 25, 45, 90, and 200. Now we're looking at 15, 30, and 45. So we're really focusing on the sub $50 market. And but you need to kind of understand what you're getting and what you're not getting with each tier to know which one is right for you. Okay. So firstly, let's understand here what all of them include. So I'm not going to go through this, but I mean, contacts, calendars, companies, basic groups, and partial opportunities, a lot of the stuff that you would expect. Okay, so it's very important to kind of go through and understand what's included in here. And what certainly is included is that you're going to get basic Act marketing automation. Remember I said it was like Growth Suite. Okay, not just like Act, it was like Growth Suite because all Growth Suite tiers included marketing automation. So all of these include marketing automation. However, the several things to note in terms of distinguishing. The basic tier, okay, or the essentials tier includes 2 gigs of cloud storage, 2,500 monthly sends, and digital support, okay? Then as you get into the next one, you can start seeing that the things that are explained here are on top of what's here. So if you see this here, it's fair to assume it's not included here. So important to note, if you're a past Act user, the essentials tier, okay, is really meant for basic CRM use. So it does not include Office and Outlook integration, Outlook and Google integration, dynamic groups. Now, this is something that a lot of existing Act users are used to. So if you're relying on Act for dynamic groups for your marketing or just even capturing your list, then the essentials tier is not going to be right for you. Dashboard and analytics, integration with other popular apps through Zapier connections, things like that. Team management, most people are aware that this is a premium feature. Marketing automation, optional. Basically, it's talking about the different features of it, and we'll cover that later. And then as you can see, there's 4 gigabytes of storage as opposed to 2, 10,000 emails, as opposed to 2,500, and then digital and phone support. Okay, now what is also important to note with both of these things is that neither one of them includes advanced queries. So as an Act user, if you're using advanced queries that are saved or advanced queries that are part of groups, then you need to understand those won't be available in either one of these tiers. Okay, now the other thing to understand is that if you are uploading an existing database, you will get whatever fields that you upload. But if you're creating a new database, and Michael is going to show you how to create a new database, he's going to go through the whole provisioning experience, then you need to understand that these 2 tiers include only the ability to edit user fields and repurpose them, okay? Not unlike what the opportunity table was back in 2009. So you can change fields, but you can't create them. The expert feature in the expert tier includes all of those. So you'll be able to create whatever fields you've got. All the CRM experience that you're used to with Act will be available here. Advanced customization, custom queries, marketing automation, 6 gigs of storage as opposed to 4 here, 25,000 emails, digital and phone, and priority queuing. Okay, so those are the 3 things, and by clicking on each one of these buttons will take you to the trial experience that you can sign up and just kick the tires a little bit for a couple of weeks free of charge. Okay, now just want to quickly explain here that if you're coming from an existing database, and obviously you've got lots of add-ons built around your Windows client, SaaS might not be right for you. If you have a large database that you've built up over the years, this may not be right for you based on the database limits, okay? So if you've got lots of add-ons, a large database, or you require offline access to the database, then this may not be the right product for you. But for lots of people that have internet like a utility, it's on all the time, then this might be something, this solution might be something that's worthwhile because it's going to be a lot faster and a lot more nimble. Okay, now I'm not going to go through all of this feature chart other than to explain how to access things. So we are the only one that has created this feature comparison chart to include the desktop. So you can actually see how the Act desktop software fits in to these 3 new offerings. Okay, so to see all of those, you just click here and it will expand, and you can kind of go through each one of them. Now, one of the things I wanted to briefly explain is we talked about the data storage limits. You can increase your storage capacity for a simple upgrade. And it says right here, additional 4 gigs. So let's say that you get this version here, you've got 4 gigs, you've got middle tier, and you actually need 8. Then for $60, okay, you can add $60 per year per account. This is not per user. So $60, you can basically double your storage. So if you're on a 5 or a 10 seat Act user team, $60 is not that big of a deal in terms of the overall cost of the account. So just keep that in mind. It's $5 for the whole account per month, $60 per year, okay? And then to expand this, you can see all the differences between the different tiers with the Act Marketing Automation, okay? And then here is the different add-ons. Now, what's really nice about this, as Lubs is going to explain, is that you've got complete control. You're not calling us, you're not calling anyone to buy anything. This whole new SaaS experience gives you, actually bolts on a complete purchase portal that allows you to buy yourself and purchase add-ons as well. So here's the custom tables add-on. Here's additional email sends if you need them. Okay, additional domains, and then SMS. Okay, we're not going to be able to demonstrate the SMS feature because it's not available with the trial experience, which Michael will be showing. Okay, but you can see the different costs associated with that. Okay, and then you've got the support packages, what each tier includes, and then regular the costs. Okay, so domains and such. Okay, so you can actually see all the pretty much every single feature difference with all of them. Okay, so that covers my introduction of SaaS. And remember, just you can go back to this page and review all the details. At the bottom, we've got frequently asked questions, so please review those as well to see if there's any of them answer any unasked questions. But without further ado, I'd like to turn it over to Michael, who's going to actually give you a live demo. So Vic, if you want to transfer.
Yeah, as we do that, there's 2 questions, Ken.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just pull mine up here. Oh, I just lost them here. One was, I'm in Canada and I'm on the cloud. If I'm on the cloud, he's a financial planner. How does that work with security-wise?
It doesn't. And thank you for asking that question. I actually had that on my list of things to remark, but I was looking at the clock and quickly realizing I was running out of time. If you are a financial planner, if you are in any kind of sensitive industry relating to finances, mortgages, health, right now all the servers are stateside, so you would not be compliant if you tried to get hosting or use the Act CRM SaaS. So it's a very, very important thing to note. At this point, it doesn't mean that it will never be, but at this point, we only have United States-based servers.
All right, we'll deal with the second question later. So go ahead, Michael, it's all yours.
Thanks, Vic. Thanks, Ken. Hello, everybody. So what we're going to do here real quickly is sort of show you a demo of what this new Act SaaS it looks like, sort of in a live environment here. And what I've also done is I have another screen up here that will have the current Act web situation, just to show you sort of the differences in the speed when going from screen to screen, to give you a better idea of just showing it to you. Okay, so we're going to log in here to the database. And the first thing you're going to notice, for especially those people who have been using the web, your first thing you're going to notice is just sort of a different, more current look to it. It's got rounded edges everywhere. It's just got a more clean aesthetic look to everything here. This is your welcome page where it's going to show you your activities, any open opportunities, your pipeline, things like that. Okay. Let's just sort of maneuver over to some of the different things here on the left, such as our task list. Well, let's go there for a second. Okay, once again, just sort of those rounded edges with things makes things easier to see. Instead of the word edit or the word delete, we have what you see in typical web browsers today, like a pencil for an edit or a garbage can for delete. Okay, so you're going to say similar things, any of sort of the list views there, like the history list is going to be very similar to that. Okay, couple places where they made changes aside from just the aesthetic looking of things. Let's go to opportunities. And to manage products, you used to have to go through tools to find fields to do that, and you would actually have to lock the database. Now you can do it right underneath the opportunities menu here, and there's an option here, manage product list. So if you need to add products to your product list, you can do so right from there without locking your database down. Let's go over to the pipeline view. And one of the things they've added here is the ability to toggle this top part up here, whether or not you want to show this. Because sometimes you may not want to see this because you want to see all your opportunities in the different stages that they're in, because you want to manage them accordingly. Because right now, as I'm looking here, because of that pipeline up here, I can only see, or that KPI I should say, I can only see maybe 4 or 5 per each stage. So if I just toggle that off, it gives me a much wider view there. Okay, I can even minimize this over here so I can get a whole view of all my stages. And what's really nice here is I can just drag these as they move from stage to stage. If I'm the sales manager and I'm moving these from stage to stage, I just click on them. It'll take me right to that particular opportunity if I wanted to look at it in more detail, or if I want to move it from a different stage while I'm back in the pipeline view, I can just drag it to a different stage. Okay. So I just quickly move three different opportunities to 3 different stages. Real nice and easy. Once again, as a sales manager, that's a really nice thing to stay in here most of your day and manage the different opportunities, or even just as a sales rep yourself. As you're calling the people up to see where they're at in their stages, you then move them accordingly. Okay. Let's go back here to our main screen, our contact screen. So, and as Ken mentioned, this is strictly all web. There's no remote databases or any kind of local databases. So what they've added is a couple of admin tools to this. Okay. Under Tools, Database Maintenance, you have the ability to check and repair your database. So we would advise people to do that on a weekly or monthly basis. Okay, depending on the use. I'm not going to go through that right now, but if you had a desktop version, you've seen this. I'm sure you've seen this before. You also have the ability to sort of clean up your database by removing old data. So it's always a good idea to get rid of any kind of cleared activities after a certain period of time. Otherwise, they can really clog up your database. Prior to the SaaS version, you weren't able to do that in the web version at all. You'd have to do it in the desktop version. Okay. Ken also had mentioned some of the AMA feature additions, such as the SMS texting ability and things like that. You also have the ability to change addresses when sending out AMA. So, and what I mean by addresses, not email addresses necessarily, but your actual business address on the bottom of the email. So if you're maybe sending it, you have different locations of your office, and you're sending the emails on an account of one office, you can choose that address to send out those emails. Being that I'm currently in the trial mode, I don't have those features currently in here, so I can't actually show you that. But I just want to sort of make you guys aware of those particular features in that. One other thing you could do with landing pages in AMA is the ability to use the QR code, like a scanning code in your email, so that when a client goes there, they can quickly scan their phone with that code, and it sends their information to you as well. So a couple quick things that you have the ability to do there. All right. So those are sort of the features as far as using it, but let me show you some of the speed performance here. Okay. So right here, we're looking at the SaaS version, the new version here. I'm going to go over to this other tab here, which is version 22 and the web version. Okay. So I'm just in an opportunity list here, and I'm going to click on the history list. So as that's loading, I'm going to go over here and click on the history list. Okay, so this one just loaded here, and it's already loaded over here on the new one. Okay, so the timing is almost, I would say, almost half. Okay, of what the timing was in the older version, or I should say the current version of Act for Web. Just maneuvering things like that, just clicking from one thing to another. And so with that, other things are going to be a lot quicker as well. Lookups, doing your reports, doing any kind of advanced queries or KPI stuff. That stuff's just going to be a lot quicker due to the infrastructure and the 64K behind the scenes part of this product here. Okay. The other thing that's really nice is the portal part of things, where you can add users, change users, and then also purchase additional things. So let's go to that first. We want to go to where it says Buy Now up here, right next to the username in the upper right. Where's that? Did it open a new window here? Hold on a second. Okay, we'll go to user management first. Okay, so you have the ability to add users, reset their passwords, activate or deactivate users, change their roles, or manage their single service login. Okay. You also have the ability to upload databases. So if you wanted to upload an additional database, you can do so down here where it says Launch Database Upload Tool. So let's go there. And once this loads, you'll see that it gives you two options. You can upload an Act backup or an spreadsheet, an Excel file. Okay. So if you were to upload an Act database, you would click here to select wherever your backup file was on your hard drive to upload. You would include your username and password. If the backup file had a password, you would include that. And then you would include your email address down here and a CC address if you needed additional email. Once you had all that information in there, you'd hit complete your upload. It uploads the database, and then it creates it on their side, and you get an email once it's done, indicating to you that you can then log into that database. And as far as timing, it just depends on the size of the database, because if it's a large database, obviously it might take a long time to upload, and then obviously on their side, download and set up. If it's a smaller database, for example, the demo database that I did today, I tested the upload today, and it was up, and by the time I uploaded it, within an hour, it was up and running. Okay, so just to give you sort of an example of that. As far as using a spreadsheet, if you wanted to upload a spreadsheet, you would click that option. You would choose the file that you wanted to upload. Once again, put your email address in there that you wanted it to the email to be notified of, and then any special instructions down here as far as like, are you merging this into your existing database? Are you creating a brand new database from that? What are your special instructions? And then as far as how do you present the data? You know, how do you want the data in that spreadsheet? For best results, you wanted to use this template. So you have a link to a template that you can use. I'll just show you that template over here. Okay, so it's pretty standard here. You know, you want your contact, company, address 2, city, state, zip, country, phone, extension, email, website, ID status, title, notes. And then if you had any custom fields, you would put them on the rows, you know, in the columns after that, any custom fields there. Okay, so that's sort of the template they want you to use if you're going to be uploading an Excel spreadsheet of any sort. Okay.
Michael, what do you consider a large database and a small database?
So as far as the database goes, it's more about the attachments, because that's what's going to take a long time to upload. So for example, 10 gigs would be, I would consider, anything over 5 gigs I would consider sort of large. Anything over maybe 15 would be huge. But you know, anything I say under 5 gigs is probably, you know, an average size database.
Okay, thank you.
For the clients that we work, yeah. Okay, I'm not sure why this buy now is not working, but that was the last thing I was going to show you guys. Let me see if I log off here and then log back in. Close some of these windows. This is where it gives you the option to buy if you wanted to go to the additional tiers, or I'm sorry, change your tiers and everything like that. Okay. Okay. My other database.
While you're doing that, maybe you or Ken can answer another question. Can you have a small group have one user at expert level and another at standard level?
That's a good question. Ken, do you know that as far as the different levels of the hosting tiers? If you have two different, or does everybody have to be the same tier?
Sir, I was answering and not realizing I was muted. So let me repeat. So much like with the desktop product, you can't have some pro users and some premium users, and with Growth Suite, you couldn't have different users in different tiers. It's all accounts have to be all one tier. Okay, it's a fair question because security roles are certainly different. With some standard managers and admin, but commercially, everyone has to be on the same tier.
All right, thank you. And then another question for you, Ken, and then we'll go back to you, Michael. If your current version of Act doesn't allow you to send emails, would you be able to use SaaS to send them alone?
Send as in broadcasting, like marketing? I'm not sure what send emails means. Like I assume, obviously, you've got access to standard one-to-one emails. Are we talking about marketing?
I'm not sure. Michael, if you could expand on that, that would be great. Then we can go in more detail there.
But I can certainly tell you that with, much like with Growth Suite, all three tiers include some level of marketing automation. So the short answer is yes, it will be able to support email marketing. I just can't comment on how it would be distinguished from what you're using now.
Okay, thank you. And then quick question, is it available in French yet?
I believe so, yes.
Okay, perfect. And then one more question.
And that's one of the things that is really useful about SaaS. I mentioned it during my introduction, is that SaaS is able to develop very, very quickly. Localization is much more of a burden with the desktop client than it is with SaaS.
Okay, thank you. We do have clarification on the email, like email group blast emails, so sending marketing emails. So I think you answered part of that already.
Yeah.
Yes, it is available on each level.
Yeah, it's available on all three levels, and certainly better than the merge mail that's built into the desktop product.
All right. Sorry, back to you, Michael.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks. So finally got back in here. So this is where, if you want to go to by Act, you can, as I mentioned, change your tier accordingly. Okay, so you have the options down there. You also have the ability to, manage your products here as far as the total users allowed, storage usage, and things like that. You can manage that as well. And then there's an option for support, where you can go to your knowledge base or submit a new web ticket through there. Okay, so you do have those options there.
Michael, did you mention that the trial experience is at the expert level?
I did not mention that. Thank you.
Okay.
So, yep. So if you do the trial, you will be at sort of what they call the top tier there, okay, at the expert level.
It's just important to note, because if you are testing some features, to make sure that if you do select a tier, that they're available within the tier you select.
Right, exactly. And that's pretty much all I had to show there. So I'm just putting up our contact information up here for people if they need to get a hold of us after today's call, and we'll be kicking over back to Ken so he can go over the KAM stuff. And just one last word here before I sign off. I want to wish a belated birthday to our Mr. Ken Quigley here. His birthday is this week, so happy birthday, Ken.
Well, I guess one of your presentations is not officially complete without, embarrassing me. So
yes. So Ken, I'm going to switch over to you. And while you're doing that, there's one question here. Is there another update coming for V22.1?
V22.1, I would say that I've heard that there is going to be an update 5. I don't have a scheduling of it yet.
All right, thank you.
Okay, everyone can see my screen?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, we can see it.
Okay, so I'm just going to leave it at the login screen while I explain what the Keystroke Access Manager is. Now, for any of our longstanding customers that are familiar with the VIP portal, this is a fairly big expansion of it, and we're kind of getting into the mobile space as well, because basically 53% of all websites are consumed through some kind of mobile device. So, you know, we had to adapt our access methods for our customers so they can better manage their accounts into a mobile platform. So that's what the Keystroke Access Manager is all about. And I'll kind of get into the features, but the first thing to understand is it's available in all three platforms. So it's available in Windows, iOS, and Android. Okay, I guess it's available with Mac as well, but most of our users are using Windows. Okay, the mobile client for the Keystroke Access Manager, we're just finalizing that. And, you know, obviously our experience with handheld contact, we know pretty well, you know, the latency involved when you submit a product to either Google Play or to the App Store. We have to allow for some time where there might be some pushback from them, or just the initial new account setup. So since we're setting up new accounts in both Google Play and the App Store, we're expecting that it's going to be 1 or 2 weeks before they're available for download. So right now we're going to be demonstrating what's available in Windows. Okay, and the experience outside of the form factor, obviously being you know, in landscape portrait, you're going to be able to see how all the features work. Okay, now there's a couple of things to understand about this. I'm going to get into some geeky details. When you log in, you're going to be accessing the information we have on you in our database live. Okay, so you're going to be accessing our master database that we have on our servers, and you're going to be accessing it live. So you're going to be getting the fastest, the most current details on your account. Okay, and we'll be covering what those details are.
Ken, yeah. I've got a couple of people that are saying they can't see your screen. Michael, can you see his? Because I can see it as well. You're in the VIP access account login page, correct?
I am, yeah.
Okay, we have a number of people saying they can't see your screen. Can some people see it? Can somebody go into the questions if you can?
I'm going to disable screen sharing and re-enable it, okay?
Okay, thank you. Billy, can you verify that you can see the screen now?
Okay, so I have enabled it again.
Unable to see screen, they say. Billy, can you verify that? No, we have a whole bunch of people saying they can't see your screen.
Okay.
I'll change presenter. Yeah, I'll change presenter to Michael, and then I'll change it back to you. So if you can bear with us here for a second. Michael, it's coming back to you. Are you ready? Michael?
I'm ready. Yep.
Okay. Okay, why don't you show your screen, and then we'll change it back to Ken's again.
Okay.
Okay,
I see you there. I'm going to change presenter now to Ken.
You haven't looked like that for a while, eh, Mike?
Long time.
Okay, Ken, it's back to you.
And I can see Ken's screen.
Can I get anyone else in the audience? Billy, can you see my screen?
Somebody said they reloaded, and then it came up. So a number of people said, so refresh your screens. If you can't see it, it looks like that seems to be solving the problem.
Okay, so just to get back to the final geeky detail, not only are you accessing the data live from our database, but you're also going to be accessing it using our own proprietary API. So we're not using the Act for Web API, we're using the Keystroke API because we have much better quality control over this, and we can customize it for our needs. And what you're going to hear about in the coming months, you know, over the next 6 months, is we're going to be building a lot of products based on our API. So you're actually going to hopefully see some enhancements even onto handheld contact. But you know, this is our first production product using our custom API. Okay, so with that, I just want to kind of go through the main screen. Most of you guys will know your customer number and your email. Now, what's important to understand is that you have to be the primary contact for the account to see all the details. You can get in and see some of the programmatic features, but for the custom tables, to access the custom tables, you have to be the primary account. And I'm going to touch upon that a little bit later if you want that changed. Now, by default, you're not going to have any password, but the moment you log in, you can then create a password. And again, that writes directly to our database. So I'm just going to click on Login. And you can see how fast this accesses it. And then here's all the program features. So you can see that I'm accessing my account. So it's displaying my information up here. And what I've got access to is the Act subscriptions, software licenses, all my software licenses that are in the database, support contracts. So if you've got Orange Care, VIP, you can drill down, you can see what's available. And what's nice is you can even renew them here as well. Here's an option to pay your bill. We'll get to this. Accessory Market is basically our shopping cart on our website. So this is an external link currently. The Proration Calculator, this is a tool that we've had on our website for a little while that people really don't know about, because we always get called asking, I need to add a seat to my subscription, or 2 seats. What's it going to cost me? Because they know that it's a prorated cost at the end to their renewal. Well, this allows you to calculate that for yourself. For our Canadian customers, we already had a Canadian inquiry. This allows you to calculate what the foreign exchange is for that day, okay? And I'm just kind of going through a high level, then we're going to drill down in each one of them. The blog and news, this is, it seems like it's just, a little direct access to our blog, but it's got some very, very exciting features that we're going to cover a little bit later. Knowledge base, this goes directly to our knowledge base, not Act's. And then Book to Act, which is our proprietary program that allows you to book appointments with either individual members of our team, and we're building that out, as well as the teams themselves, okay? And I'll cover that. Live chat, what's really nice about this is, because you notice that we logged in, okay, when we access this much, when you click on live chat, it immediately will access our chat system, and you won't have to identify yourself because that's already in there, and you can do that right from your phone. And then all of our contact information. So let's just see what this looks like. So the first thing is I want to access my subscriptions, okay? So you click in here and it's all formatted here. Now I've cleared out some of the serial information for the purposes of this demo, but in this case you can see that here are my contracts. These are both expired, otherwise they would be here. If they were active, you would even be able to renew them. Okay, but this is the basic information covering costs, purchase date, renewal date up here. In this case, it's just showing you when they expired. Okay, now we click back here. We can either click back or go down to home. I'm going to click back. Now I'm going to go to software licenses, and this is going to show me all my software licenses. Now I'm not going to scroll because beneath this it actually shows some real license keys, but it's got all of the ones. Here, I can keep scrolling. Every single thing that we have purchased or we've sold you is going to be in our record. So let's say that you have an old license of Act for Outlook and you can't find the key. You can go in here, and if we sold it to you, we're going to have record of it. Okay, so this is kind of handy to be able to retrieve your keys. Okay, now what's really nice is here under the support contracts. Okay, you can see here that this one's active, okay? It shows all the different ones and closed, okay? And you see how you've got your key here. What this allows you to do is to actually renew it. Now, if this was, coming up where it was up for renewal, you would actually have a little renew button right here, okay? And you'd be able to renew your contract right here with this contract key, okay? And to show you what that looks like, I'm going to just go outside of the program, and I'm going to show you where you can get that right now. So you go to Act Services, Keystroke Customer Tools, and let's go to Support Plan Renewal. Okay. Now, I just want to see what I selected here. Okay, it's Orange Care. So I'm going to select Orange Care, Validate. So now it's reading from our database. As I'm thinking about this, okay, I'm going to, okay, yeah, so it did not validate it as a key because it's probably a different kind of support plan. So I'm just going to look up a customer's one here. Okay, and let's go to, I'm actually going to show one that has expired. Okay, and I'm going to select a VIP. Now this contract has expired, okay, so there's not going to be any discount. If it hadn't expired and it was within 60 days of the renewal, you would see the discount available, okay, and you would then see a renew here, and you'd be able to process through to completion. That's what you're going to be able to do here, okay, if you had a contract that was eligible. So I just wanted to kind of go through that. And the nice thing is, as I said, you're reading the data live off our database. So updates are similar, they're live. You're gonna be writing directly to the database. So if you wanna renew your contract online and then call like 1 minute later to one of our support reps, they're going to see that addition to your support contract. Okay, so that's one of the benefits of working live. Okay, now then we've got pay your bill. In this case, this works right within the app. You put in your invoice number, you put in the amount due, okay. Reference number, this isn't required, okay, but it is important to indicate, what currency you're using, okay, and then you can proceed to pay, okay. And then you just go through and it automatically, see here, it automatically allows you to finish your payment. Now, what's nice is we get an email immediately, a secure email saying that this invoice has been paid, and then it immediately goes to SwiftPage if it's a contract. So, we don't recommend, if your contract is due to renew, say on October 15th, trying this at 11:59 because obviously both offices are closed. But if it's within business hours, we'll be able to make sure that your account does not get interrupted if you pay it online, okay? Now, so you got to pay your bills. The accessory market, as I said, is just a link to the shopping cart here, okay, which we've just done a nice little facelift to. So if we go into, here's the support contracts we just discussed, okay, all the different support contracts. So this just allows you access, and within the mobile clients, the Android and the iOS version, I believe this will actually work totally within the app. Now the proration calculator is kind of handy. Now this goes outside of the app. I'm going to show you what it would be like to add 3 seats, okay, to someone that is renewing. So let's say you've got a renewal of February 26th. Now the last time that you purchased your last invoice, that's all you need to put in. The last time, my last invoice back last February was $300 per license. Let's say I had 7 and now I need 10 users. So I'm going to put in 300. I'm going to put in 3 additional users. See how quickly that is? And it immediately pops up. It's $110 per user for a total of $330, okay? And then you can click pay now. Now, obviously, if you're a Canadian, please be mindful that there would be sales taxes applied as well, but this will enable you, if you want to you can email yourself, print this, and then call up your sales rep and they can process it. But if you're an American customer, there's no sales tax applies. You can just pay this in USD and it goes directly to our shopping cart, and we get a notice of that, and we can order your additional seats immediately. Okay. Currency converter, again, for something for Canadian, this works totally within the app. So when you click on this, up pops this, and it immediately shows you the Canadian exchange rate. Okay, so let's say, I want to see $1,000, okay? In US is $1,300. Now with our website, we post everything in USD, okay? So right now you can see here, this is how you can switch it, okay? So you can always see everything, but if you wanted to know a specific amount as opposed to what a particular product costs, then you can use this, this converter, okay? Down here. Now I'm going to skip past blog and I'm going to come back to that. You can see how there's nothing, no extra little dots here, but the knowledge base brings you right to our Act for Work knowledge base. Most popular, it's used for our bigger products like the Act for Outlook, Notifier, tables for Act, things like that. You can go in here, search commonly asked questions, set up guides, manuals, things like that. You can retrieve them all from here, okay? Now the book to act, as I said, is our own proprietary system. So you click on here and you immediately see currently there's only 4 of us that have our book to act links. What it's doing is it's actually reading from the About Us page, and it's pulling in everyone that has a book to act link. Okay, so you can see Michael has one, okay, Billy has one, and sadly, and only Sylvia. Okay, so as soon as we update that, then additional people will be added here. Now the team edition, we're still tweaking. We're having one little issue with competing blacklist times where people are, we're trying, where the team organizers, the blacklists are kind of overriding individual blacklists. So we're just kind of tweaking that, but it should be completed soon. But what the benefit of this is, you'll be able to click on this and check the next availability of anyone in the sales team. So let's say you don't have a preference, okay? You don't care, what technician you talk to or what salesperson you talk to. You can book an appointment with them immediately, okay, and find out the next available time that anyone is available, okay? So and this is going to be at the team level. Individually, if let's say we went to Michael's, which is hilarious because Michael is never available. I have no idea why I picked yours, Michael's. Your calendar looks like a tetra. See, here it is. It's never available.
Go 3 weeks from now. There's some openings 3 weeks from now.
Yes, exactly. And that is here. You lucky devils. At 3 p.m. on Monday, Michael is available, and 10 a.m. on Tuesday. Michael, I'm going to book that time. Because
get away you can.
I employ them, and I still can't get them to call me back. So, but that's how it works. Now, with normal people, it would show a very, very different. It would actually show days and times. In this case, it's showing like 2 available hours in the entire week, which is obviously a bit freakish. Okay, so that's how that works. And then when you book that, you click on a time. What it will do is it will ask you some questions, so your email and things like that, and then it will automatically create that appointment within our calendar live, and then you will get an ICS file that you add to your calendar, okay, and then that appointment is made. Okay, so we get notified of it immediately that someone has booked an appointment with us. We check our calendar, we can see what it is. If the person isn't in our database, then that contact is created and then the activity linked to it. If the person is in the database and it's going to dupe check against the email, then we will find that contact and attach that new appointment to that existing contact. Okay, now back to the home. Okay, now on live chat, as I explained, you just click here and you can just start talking, because whoever's on the session will have your information presented to them. Okay, the contact us page, you can see here all that, so just quick access to all our social medias, everything. Now what I'm going to do on another page here, okay, now you can see here how there's no dots. I haven't done this before, so this is kind of a live demo, live test, I should say. Okay. And now I'm going to click on save. Now, what I'm doing on another screen is I'm actually saving a new blog. Okay, now why is that important? Let's test. Okay, see here, how you've got a little dot automatically appear. So what this does is it will constantly check to see if a new blog has been posted on our website. Now, what's handy about this is with the iOS and the Android version, what you're going to do is on your app, you're going to see a little number, like if you got Facebook or LinkedIn or Twitter, it actually will show you a little number and indicate that there is an update for you to drill down and see. Now, why is this important? Well, we've had a number of major announcements over the last few years. At the end of 2018, we were announcing to everyone about the discontinuation of Protexus and how people had to update their licensing. At the end of 2019, there was a lot of information that was important to get out regarding the remapping of Growth Suite packages, things like that. Sometimes this isn't just necessarily about sales. We made some announcements last month about some changes in support policies that was important for the customers to notify. Now, we all suffer email fatigue, so we don't take it personally when people opt out of our email correspondence, because people see our sales, they see our webinars, and they get a little weary, so that they opt out and they don't think they're doing so at any cost. But the reality is that in amongst all of those is some very, very important updates that our customers need to know, and I just listed off some of them. So what this does is it provides one other message. So if you, and we've had people that literally said, why didn't you tell me? And then I go in and I look on their record, and they've opted out of direct email campaigns, they've opted out of AMA, they've blocked every conceivable form of communication short of carrier pigeon for us to alert them. And it's like, well, why didn't you call me? Okay, well, we're the largest reseller of ACT in the world. I would have to have several available, telemarketers just calling people on the off chance that they blocked it. So that isn't particularly practical. But what we've done is we've built another system, another comm link between us and you guys, where if you've got this app on your phone, you're going to see this little update, and you're thinking, okay, what's this about? And I click on this, and now you can see SwiftPage extends the Renewal Deferred Payment Program. So we click a little bit more, okay, and it drills into the blog. Now, I just posted this blog while we were doing this demo, okay? So when I clicked on refresh, it immediately said that there was a new blog available, and this is it, okay? So what this does, we're really excited about it. If for any reason we can't reach you, if you have this blog on your phone, like you get alerts from Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn, you're going to get a little update alert on this app, and you'll know to click down. Now, sometimes they will be promotional emails, but for the 2 or 3 seconds it takes, which you can do at your leisure, because this is on a mobile device as well, so you don't have to be necessarily in front of your computer. It could be anywhere. You can check on it and make sure that it is an update. Now, sometimes these updates, while they are promotional, they include savings. We had our Actoberfest sale last week, where we had one of the products was Act for Outlook, our most popular product, 25% off. We had a ton of people that took advantage of that. But one of the things that I found bizarre is the very first day that it ended, which was on Monday, we had like 10 sales of Act for Outlook. And we're thinking, like, did you wait for the sale to pass? Okay, so in this case, this could have saved them, 25% off something that they were planning to buy anyway. So having a little alert thing is extremely important for us to be able to update our customers of important information. Okay, so I'm going to pause and check to see if there isn't any questions.
No, there's no questions at this time, Ken.
I don't know if that's because I've covered everything or I've talked so fast that people, can't process any questions. So let's go back to our homepage. Okay, we've got about 7 minutes left. So we're going to cover some of the exciting things that we have got here. So as you can see, we've changed our homepage quite significantly. We've got the dancing guys, very, very popular with customers. I would say now that we're midway through the month, my staff are beginning to turn on me with the amount that they're forced to look at this dancing guy, but they have to suck it up for the rest of the month. But here's our promotional page, and then down here are each week's promo products. So Keystroke Clipboard, what this does is it allows you, now most ACT users know that when you click on Control-C within ACT, it will save the primary fields to the clipboard, and then let's say you go into an email and hit Control-V, it will paste all those fields. So if you want to send out a quick email of someone's contact information, what better way than to just look up the contact, click on Control-C, and then reply to an email with Control-V, and there you go. Well, clipboard allows you to control not only the fields that are being copied to the clipboard, but the format of them, so you can actually kind of lay them out. Okay, quoting for ACT is precisely what you would expect. It is a quoting generator right from within ACT, and basically if you can create an opportunity, you're one button away from a quote. It sends it out, it's professional. One of the weaknesses of ACT is its actual quoting utility, where it's kind of like a Word Excel macro. It's kind of nice if you're just calculating, but nothing that most established companies would want to send and have them represent their business. So this quoting for ACT is a quote renderer that basically takes your opportunity information and converts it into a quote. okay? And then primary contact plus. I mentioned earlier about whether or not when you're using the KAM, if you're the primary contact, if you're in our database and you have an account number, you can log in. But if you are not the primary contact, you won't see support contracts, subscriptions, software, because those are all aggregated under the primary contract as custom tables. Well, primary contact plus allows us to select a primary contact amongst many other contacts from the same company that are linked to the company. You select it. That customer will, or that contact will then become the primary contact. It will deselect any other contacts in your database as such, clear that checkbox, okay? And it will then update the company, because ACT, as you know, is contact centric. So, but the company table, when you enter in information at the company table, it propagates down, which is often not a great thing, because you end up with your most current up-to-date information at the contact level. So primary contact plus allows you to take the up-to-date information at the contact, push it up to the company, and then propagate it down to all the linked contacts of that company. Now, the last thing that it does is it takes all the different custom tables that are scattered around all the linked contacts, and it aggregates them under this newly selected primary contact. So when you log in as the primary contact, you're going to see all the different licenses and contracts, support contracts, software contracts alike, all under your contact, because we clicked on one button with primary contact plus to aggregate them. So these three products are available for sale, okay? Now, I've got 4 minutes left, and I did promise you a surprise. So here's the surprise. On this homepage, there is a little Easter egg that we've hidden, and we're required to hide it because, as you know, back in June, SwiftPage discontinued the sale of Act Pro V22, okay? Well, we have been purchasing large stocks of Act Pro V22, okay? And we have made them available. Now, one of the conditions of these purchases is that we can direct market them to our customers, so we can email them, but we can't put them on social media, we can't put them on our website, we can't put them on anything that can be Googled, because SwiftPage was sincere when they discontinued the sale of them, because they want to focus on their SaaS and their premium subscription products. So Act Pro was always like a brother from another mother, so they phased it out. They announced it over a year ago. But for us, we know that especially during the pandemic, there's a lot of demand for a more cost-effective product without recurring costs. Okay, plus a lot of our handheld contact users love Act Pro, so they wanted to be able to update. So SwiftPage stopped selling it at the end of June. We bought a lot of inventory, but you can't see it on our website as a condition. So I'm going to tell you how to access it. If you scroll down, you're going to see Keystroke Client Tools, and you're going to see Subscribe to Act 365. Now, the reason we put Subscribe to Act 365 is because this product is now discontinued, effective today. Okay, so Act 365 is no longer available. It is being replaced with, as we covered, the Essentials version of Act CRM SaaS. Well, most people don't know that, so we put Act 365 here. So if you click on it, it immediately takes you to Act Pro. Now, this is hidden. It's unindexed, so it can't be Googled. Okay, it's not available by browsing through our website. If you go to our shop cart here, and you go into Act, you cannot find it anywhere. Oh, it's just, looks like it's published today, so I better get that reduced, okay. Wow, I didn't even, let's see if I made a mistake there. Okay, so that will be hidden right after this demo, but you click on this, this goes directly to it now. So that's one secret. The other secret is, starting Monday, for the rest of the month, this is going to be dropped $30, okay? Now, I want to emphasize two things. So if you're looking at buying it, you want to top up seats or anything like that, no problem. If you have an old version and you're considering going to premium, but there's only a couple of users and you want to have the most economical way, then certainly consider this. If you have 5 or 6 seats of Act Pro V22 and you need a couple of more seats and you thought you were stuck and maybe we're forced to look at another product, you buy a couple of seats from us, you contact us, you give us your original license key, and we will add those seats to your original license key so you can add seats to your existing team. Okay, but the important thing is don't buy them before Monday, okay, because on Monday that's going to be $30 cheaper. Okay, so it's almost 10% cheaper. So why waste the money? Okay, so I'm going to stop here and see if there is any questions.
No further questions, Ken.
Wow, and it's exactly 4 o'clock.
Perfect. Well, thank you very much, Ken. I really appreciate it, and you too, Michael. Remember, you can find this recording. It should be up tomorrow sometime. If you just scroll down our homepage, and you'll see Keystroke videos towards the bottom. You can access them at any time. And there's also all of our other webinars are up there. So if you have any questions or want to take a look at one that we ran a while back, they're all labeled. So please take time to do that. So thank you very much, Ken and Michael, and we wish everybody a great day.